Well, hello, Flickering Myth family, and welcome to our channel. My name is EJ, and thank you so much for subscribing. If you're not subscribed yet, make sure you click that button, click that bell, because we have a lot of fun things to get into on this channel, just like this new movie review. Yes, I'm going to be talking about the film Argylle. First and foremost, this movie is a chop for me. This is a big, giant no. You know what? I was hesitant to give it that no, to give it that chop, to say this is not for me at all, because it had moments, fleeting moments, moments that I went, oh, go back to that. What's that movie? This movie struggled for what it wanted to do. Half of it is a pretty generic spy movie, and then the other half is a romantic comedy at times. This movie is confused. I did not enjoy what was happening, but again, those fleeting moments that I went, whoa, Catherine O'Hara's having a great time, or, Bryce Dallas Howard, you're great. Where have you been at more in my life? This movie definitely has its sparks, its little things, and that's Matthew Vaughn. Matthew Vaughn is usually quite a director I enjoy. X-Men First Class, one of the best X-Men movies ever. Kingsman? Oh, that's okay. Kingsman 2? Alrighty then. And then just Matthew Vaughn, I just feel like I have not connected with him since that first Kingsman movie. He's definitely going over style over any substance. This movie lacks a soul, a personality, charm. I found it unfunny. I found it ugly to look at. This movie just really did not hit the notes that I expected from Matthew Vaughn. So then when I'm just like, wow, this is going on 20, 30 minutes too long, I just kind of end up feeling a bit more negative than this movie than I actually thought I would be. If you've been in the movies for the last couple months, I know you've seen the trailer for Argylle. So what's this movie about? Elly Conway, played by Bryce Dallas Howard, is a writer who is struggling to finish her new book. Then inspiration just falls into her lap when she meets, what's his name? Aiden, played by Sam Rockwell. Yeah, Aiden, he's great. He's a really fun character. And then he just kind of keeps doing the same notes over and over again. Sam Rockwell, I like you, but what are you doing here? Bryan Cranston, what are you doing here? We'll talk about actors in the next section of a whole, oh, y'all are really doing these kind of movies. So yes, we have Elly kind of figuring out her new spy life, because it seems like her books are being able to predict things that are actually happening. So an evil agency decides, hey, your books are a little too close to home. We have to take her out. So Aiden works with her. They go on spy-like shenanigans, and they're trying to figure out who the real Agent Argylle is. That's been kind of the mystery of the trailers. It's kind of the mystery of the movie. And I almost wish I didn't know who Argylle was, because wow, what a movie, what a time, what a thing. Ugh, I don't know. This plot is uninspired. I feel like I just saw it recently with that Sandra Bullock movie with Channing Tatum. It's a little Romancing the Stone. This kind of like, oh, this hijinks that are happening out of I can't believe these are things. It's such a classic, a staple, especially within the spy kind of movies, and it just feels been there, done that, very uninspired. They try to add some new twists, some new layers. They try to give you like a, oh, did you see that coming? Yes, I saw it coming. This is the most obvious movie, and there's a lot of times where I felt the cheesiness was just going to be in the kind of the fake movie, where seeing Elly's book come to life, the Argylle book comes to life with scenes with Henry Cavill, Dua Lipa, John Cena. These moments, I was like, oh, they're going to be perfectly, like cheesy, as they should be. It's a spy novel. I get it. And then the cheesiness, the cliche dialogue, the very like, well, this is what we're going to do on this mission. All that stuff is what's in the actual movie. So for me, that there's no difference between the novel that we're seeing unfold and then the real world that we're seeing. It's just like, it's bland, it's unoriginal. It's just like, there's no difference. So when I don't feel the juxtaposition of the real world to the fake world, it's just like, okay, it's lazy. It just ended up feeling lazy. And that's not even counting the overall visual style of this movie. Flat, ugly, like even lighting. Everything is just so blue screen lighting, so everything can look as fake as it does. It's not just the CGI cat. Backdrops, like moments of action scenes that just feels weightless. It's something that we complain about a lot in superhero movies, where we're seeing people fight around and they don't have any weight to them. It's just CGI people, so you don't really attach yourself to it. Multiple times, especially near that end in that third act, that they have two back-to-back action scenes that felt so boring. Like, again, because it's weightless. That's so CGI, so green screen background. And I'm not usually one to harp on it too much. I get it, smaller budget movies with weaker VFX. I will often kind of overlook it. But this is a pretty decently budgeted movie from a director who was experienced with the world of CG, like Black Panther. That was such a big thing of how ugly that movie looked as well. But, Ryan Coogler wasn't too familiar with VFX. This wasn't his normal strong suit as a filmmaker. But Matthew Vaughn has done this time and time again. So the movie to look this flat, this just uninspired, where you're like, oh, give me some colors, give me some shadows. Everything is just like soap opera TV lighting, and I don't get it. Like, you have real fun things happening. They try to do this real interesting fight scene with smoke and all that in different colors. Other than it being played for more comedy than a fun action scene, you're just like, oh, this doesn't look good. It just, nothing really comes off as impressive or new or fresh in the visual department. With the gaggle of actors this movie has, you would expect this to be laugh out loud funny. I had a couple chuckles. I liked the needle drops that were there. I was like, oh, okay, this has some fun elements. But none of these actors are honestly wanting to be there. They're all delivering kind of the generic performances you would expect from them. Samuel Jackson is the worst offender of that. The boy was in like a green screen room just chuckling along, and I'm like, Sam Jackson continues to be paid and booked and busy. Happy for you. But Catherine O'Hara, if you've ever seen Schitt's Creek, she is so damn funny. I was expecting more humor from her. Sam Rockwell carries the humor. He tries so hard. I will say John Cena in the little Argylle book stuff, I wanted more John Cena. Should have put him in the real world so I could have got far more John Cena. He seems to match the tone, the energy that this was going for. Someone who felt out of place, Bryan Cranston. For him being on one of the most prestigious shows ever. Breaking Bad was like hailed as like the drama to end all dramas. That boy is not capitalized on a movie that has the same kind of the same kind of je ne sais quoi that Breaking Bad has. It's been continued. Bad blockbusters, unfunny movies. Bryan Cranston's a funny dude, but I feel like we're not hitting where he needs to be. Like Bryce Dallas Howard, I enjoyed her in this movie. I'm reminded that she is a movie star at times. But what was she doing here? What was the point? This could have been any actress, and I think that's what really kills me with the Bryce Dallas Howard role. Ellie could have been anyone. Honestly, the rumors of Taylor Swift, I think Taylor Swift could have played a more interesting Ellie. It could have been a more of a stunt casting. Give me a little bit something. I liked Bryce Dallas Howard. Again, I think she has that movie star quality, but she felt so out of place here. She just felt like she just didn't really want to be in this type of movie. Where, like, again, Sam Rockwell is doing his best. He is doing so much heavy lifting, trying to keep this entertaining, trying to keep this moving. He's the most that matches with his tone. I feel like Sam Rockwell and John Cena are the best fits for this. Henry Cavill, I am a Zack Snyder super fan. I am that Man of Steel. Maybe he's not that good of an actor. Maybe the Henry Cavill experiment is over for me. I just don't. Maybe only with Zack Snyder I like him, because my goodness, he was just so bland here. And there's a moment near the end where you're like, wow, Cavill, you really, you ain't getting it. You ain't doing it for anybody. Yeah, this movie definitely has a cast that is so strong, but I feel like they're let down by a really generic, cliched, weak script. And then they're put in worlds that are ugly with bad blue screens and lackluster CGI that I'm like, oh my goodness, we let our decent actors down with a movie that is just so mediocre, so mid, that I'm like, I can't believe people even signed up for this. Get that paycheck. Sam Jackson. Oh my God, he's just making me laugh that boy will take a paycheck, sit in a blue screen room, and do what he needs to do. And honestly, round of applause. Round of applause for you guys cashing in an easy paycheck. And this movie might do well. Who knows? You would say this review is quite catty, wouldn't you? Oh, fun pun. That's actually kind of the same level of jokes that I just made is about what you would get from this movie. Argylle is overall pretty lackluster, pretty weak. I think this is the asterisk I will put here. My crowd laughed. Every joke that I found eye-roll inducing, my crowd was laughing. So definitely take this with a grain of salt. If you were interested in the trailer, if you found the trailer funny, you might find the final product funny. I thought the trailer was okay, so I had medium expectations, and the movie came below my expectations. So kind of gauge it where you need to. Definitely go out and see it. It's a dry season for movies right now. There's really not much out unless you want to see The Beekeeper or Mean Girls again. I don't know, go out and see this one. It's not the worst time. I definitely expected a bit better from Matthew Vaughn, from the actors involved, from the production company. You just expected more, and it's just fine. Oh, actually, it's a little less than fine. It's just meh. Alright guys, what did you think of my review? What do you think of Argylle? If you haven't seen the movie, who do you think Agent Argylle is? If you've seen it, don't put spoilers. I try to keep this as spoiler free as I can. Let me know what you think. Share your thoughts down below. Subscribe to Flickering Myth because we make videos like this every single week. And give me a thumbs up if you did enjoy. Alright everyone, let's talk about Argylle right down here.